I'm doing this, and I'm going to do another run in March and April.
Oh, cool.
Which will be on the East Coast, Southern and the South, Florida and Texas, because I'm doing that Monsters of Rock cruise.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about that.
I can't come over just to do that.
Right.
There's not enough money
Absolutely.
in that,
No way. No way.
Just so once I've done that, it'd be different. I was just talking to somebody else. It'd be a different story if I was a single person. And I didn't have children and I didn't have, a wife and stuff like that. Because the market isn't there. I mean, it's just, and you can't really break any bigger via the new channels.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, my audience are from the past.
Right.
Even though they've grown, and I'm happy when they see what I do, that they got the connection to the past. But they also seen that I have evolved and I've distanced myself
Absolutely.
from people that just keep clinging on to which is I understand they do that. What else are they going to do in that way, and so and so, and it's just, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, it doesn't necessarily have a happy ending.
Right. I really respect how you're doing everything. I mean, it's really almost like unheard of, and you just hop in a car and you just just start booking these shows and just following. You're just going straight down. What is it? This highway
You were in Kansas City last night, right? And then you go on to Colorado.
Denver tomorrow. A little bit outside Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 7-hour drive.
all the way over.
And then actually, this is how crazy it is. After the 2 shows in Colorado, I had actually 3 days off to make it down to Idaho. But then I decided that I want to go up and visit the battlefield a little bit more, because it's always been a very important thing for me since a child, and I'm just really a scholar of that. So just by me going up there, I've ended up getting 2 shows just because I decided to go up to Billings, Montana.
Nice.
In that way.
Right on.
So it's one of those things. What is it? Everybody's using this word, bucket on the bucket list, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that
that's
I'm on
cool.
their bucket list, and this is on my bucket list. It's almost, I know sooner or later, and I'm debating it. Right now I'm sort of living in Jakarta, Indonesia. It's quite far from this kind of lifestyle.
Right.
And I met my new wife, and we have 2 children. They're both born in America and stuff like that. But this is where we're at. When I immigrated to Australia in 2000, I had to give up my residencies of America. And if anybody ever will ask me what is any regrets, that it was that.
Really.
And this is one of those things that, in a period that I call the wasted years, when I've put my faith in the wrong people, and I completely wasted away when I should just have been out playing. And I just sat there and waiting for a record deal or something shitty, and then finally got so fucking fed up with it. And when my first wife and I were like arguing, and my son, and we're just like, she was from Australia, we just said maybe it's a new beginning. But it just wasn't thought through.
Right.
For the moment.
Because she's like, right now, I don't really feel at home anywhere on earth.
Wow.
I love the American lifestyle because it's still the Wild West. It's also it's a country in turmoil.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
It's completely out of control.
Absolutely.
But that that all sort of depends on how much you look into it, and this is sort of what I had to debate. I'm really a scholar of history, and I've really gone deep into the facts, not what you see on TV, but the facts.
Yeah.
And so it's almost a matter of doing here. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
That's my first beer in 20 days. Last time I had it with a couple of cups in New York City.
Nice.
So it's I know it's a little all over the place, but it's kind of like you're going to make a decision. It's a kind of like when you're not here anymore, the world will just keep going in the wrong direction. So it's a matter, is it just good enough for you to live right now? And so when all those things get into your head, mixing with music and mixing with decisions, you get a bit lost.
Yeah.
Because I have so much music that I want to give, but I also know it's a limited amount of how people can get hold of it, because not everybody go on Amazon, not everybody go on iTunes.
Yeah.
And then it's so limited. I mean, I've sold so many albums on the road because people don't know about it, and now they hear the new songs or something.
Right.
But still, it's very disturbing.
Yeah, that's what I've always loved about your songwriting is it's not cookie cutter, or even back in the '80s and stuff. I mean, I think I read an interview where you had said we weren't really in that glam, type thing. We really didn't fit that, but we keep getting put in that category. And you're absolutely right. Just because, I mean, you listen to like Lady of the Valley. I mean, the lyrics in that. I mean, it's just there is absolutely nothing like that.
I see. I mean, your point is right. First of all, I talk about it on stage, but everybody says the same thing now that we kind of grown up and we're able to say, you look back. This guy came to me yesterday, and he had been in a band called Banshee, which I didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, the guy,
A friend of ours is a drummer.
Drummer on their last tour.
I don't know who he was, if he was a singer, because he had completely changed, and then he was talking about that this girl in the video was dating my bass player and stuff like that. And I was trying to put two and two together. I couldn't get it, so then I went back and saw the video, and it was just like a version of White Lion, which is a shitty song. and I just got, holy shit. Is that how it looks back to the 80s? But if you had gone back and looked at the Wade video, you wouldn't have I don't believe you would have gotten that thing, because that song was that fucking great, But it is what you're saying. It's like, now that you're so many years back, what is it that's still standing? Because how many people can go up on stage and resemble what they were?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy who was a singer, which maybe was a guy I talked to yesterday, he almost looked like me back in the 80s.
Nice.
Yesterday.
There are so many of them.
Yesterday, I would not have known what he was. I mean, he was twice his size. He just had a baseball cap on and shorts, and just could have been driving any truck.
Right.
Great fucking guy. He stayed with me all night and was very encouraging and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, imagine if then you came back and saw that's the band from then, and you go, well, who's there?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the 80s. The 80s has not aged well, because it was so image-minded. So if it wasn't because your songs are strong, and then you got a singer going out there who can't sing anymore, and he's like, hacking with sunglasses and stuff like that, and you go,
So many are coming to mind.
I know. I didn't want to say anything either, but yes.
So I did. But it's also what stopped me. Not that I necessarily feel I fit that much into that category, but I can't be the Mike Tramp from the Wade video.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
They don't want to evolve.
That's it. You recognize it.
They still think if they go out there and just try to pull off the hit record or their hits that they had, try to mimic that again.
And you sometimes wonder, is this good for the business, or is this not good for the business, or is it that the business is sort of getting that? It's sort of like it's like a class reunion, and you come back and you walk into the hall. You haven't been home in 25 years. You go in and says, I can't fucking recognize anybody here. but the memories are there the second you hear the name, and then you go, and then it's kind of like it fucks with your head a little.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the 80s, I was never able to go to a lot of concerts because being a girl, my parents wouldn't let me go do all that stuff. So now as an adult, I'm starting to see more of the bands that I wanted to see back then, and he's giving me crap saying I saw them when they were good.
When Vince Neil sang and everything.
Well, I took my mother to the Bon Jovi concert in Oklahoma City several months ago, and he said, you go ahead. I saw them when they were good.
And Bon Jovi's one of those who obviously have kept it more clean. Unfortunately, he hasn't delivered any strong new music. And in my opinion, if I was doing that with that success, the show that I would deliver would not be a Bon Jovi show because he's lacking. It's seriously.
Yeah.
But that somehow he's been able to keep that mainstream just afloat,
Yep.
and then of course with all the hits and stuff like
He's
that.
got that. He put out country music too to try to fit into that genre, and that didn't work for me at all.
It's been a long time since he had a song that he really says, wow, this is good. And the last album just sucks, seriously.
Oh, I agree.
Suck when you judge it on the level that they're going into the studio with. I mean, you talk
Right.
about unlimited cash, unlimited resources of
Right.
songwriters or whatever. He could put a fucking album together of the greatest songs written by other people, and the fans would even know that it wasn't Bon Jovi writing the songs.
That's true. That's very true.
I just loved, Bon Jovi, and then 7800, and then
Everybody would.
and then everybody else. It's almost like everybody else started catching on. They're like, "Have you heard Bon Jovi?" Yeah, I mean, have you heard King of the Mountain, Tokyo Road? And they're like, no. I was like, then you haven't really heard Bon Jovi yet. So it's just kind of frustrating when it all starts getting so commercialized that it's the thing to do. And that's kind of what I felt like Bon Jovi kind of did it towards the end,
Well, it's a business. It's like kids. It's a total business.
Right.
There's no delivery. There's no respect. That Paul Stanley can barely not sing the songs anymore. But it's like they have so much money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I tell you, man, I don't have any money, and I'm able to say, you know what, I don't really want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But they're like, it's almost like they don't have anything else.
That is kind of sad. That is kind of
So
sad.
we'll go out and charge $1,500 for a meet and greet.
Right. Right.
That's very true.
But that's a business we're dealing with everywhere,
Yeah.
and things like that. And then you got something like Monsters of Rock Cruise coming up, or things like that. Just because people are coming up with those ideas, and again, it's a great idea. In necessarily, it's not to me an impressive bill.
Right. Well,
But it is what it is.
I think that would be so much fun. We've been really debating either Monsters of Rock Cruise or what's the other one? Isn't there another one?
Or the metal one.
There was another one a few years ago, Shiprocked or something
Shiprocked,
like that, that was-
yeah.
Okay, there was another
It had-
concept.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do it anymore. It had, I know Cinderella was on there, I think Monty Crew was on there, but we've just never been able to go and do one of those.
I think that'd be a good time. I mean, it'd be one thing being able to go on a cruise, which would be awesome, and then being there with all the bands that we loved and being able to see them. Maybe not as good as they were, but we'd still get to see them and hang out with them, and I think it'd be pretty cool, man.
The only issue I think would be being stuck out at sea.
Well, right now,
You have no escape.
right now it's just like the rock stars and the fans have just got down to the same level.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Meet me at the buffet.
And the funny thing is I've seen pictures of people, they're sitting there with their plates of food and sitting beside, one was sitting beside Ted Foley, just sitting there eating. But you're right.
Good stuff.
So you better be okay with that kind of stuff. And obviously, for me, I've always been. So therefore, it never becomes a fall from grace in any form or matter when the big time ended and stuff.
That's really
like that.
respectful.
You sort of just get back to who you are in reality, where you were more comfortable.
That's good.
And it's just that all the other ones have built up this image that it's like, coming in, And now you enter through the front door in the crowd and you go up on stage and you get ready and you have a good report. And what have I done now? 20 shows. it's unanimous. I mean, the same thing with my new album. It's unanimous. People's comment on it, and that just means that the message is so loud and clear what it is that I'm projecting, and that to me in reality is the true reward and for all that stuff. I mean, I've never in reality, believe it or not, back in the glory days, I've never walked off stage and really feeling like victorious and stuff like that. Or hearing people praise and stuff like that. Now it's like every single thing, and I'm just standing here with an acoustic guitar singing. But you will notice tonight, one way or another, and I doubt that I will fail in that. That it's just this will reach you in here.
Good.
This is the soul, man. You know, stuff like that. So
See, and I'm sure I am looking so forward to it because I know what kind of songwriter you are, and I know you don't just put gibberish together, and it's and you've always been that way, and I can't wait to actually see how you feel it right now. I mean, because this is the way you portray it now. And
I would have given up after one show if I went out and said, "Fuck, I hate it." Because the 2 times I did the White Lion thing with the new version, I really got talked into it, and of course I talked myself into it. I was the one making the decision.
Right.
It never felt right. And I was living behind a veil. It just never felt right. I couldn't live and smile.
Right.
And I was just wondering, man, constantly, why am I doing this, man? It's such a struggle. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So
See, that's what I was wondering. You just seem so much more at peace now with everything, and it's obviously because you do it on your terms.
Exactly.
And you don't have to answer to anybody. You don't even have to be out here if you don't feel like being out here. And that's the whole change. You're not being forced. You don't have a record company going, "This is what you're doing."
You're doing it with the love of actually doing it.
Yeah, no, exactly, correct.
It's coming across.
And but I would love to be constantly touring from time to time.
Absolutely.
But you can't go against something that sometimes is not possible.
Yeah.
I hear 3 bands out on the bill, man. Just taking anything they can get, just in desperation, and you just go, wow,
Yep. Yeah, it is a crazy business.
What would be some advice that you would give to somebody trying to break into the business right now?
Oh.
Well, like my daughter's boyfriend, her band just got signed.
Well, I mean, but see, I wouldn't have that because we're somebody that once were known, and we appeal to those who knew us back then. You're talking about some of those. Like almost every venue does that. They get some support acts, and I think the support acts have to buy 10 tickets.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going, all this stuff you're putting on in front, nobody gives a fuck about.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, they're all that way.
So I mean, new music today. I mean, for the younger generation that new coming out that don't know what they are, you got to use the massive, what's the word? I mean, YouTube and that kind of stuff. You self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have to use the social media.
They've actually got signed, and they were put on a tour, and they went out, and his grandparents bought this actual tour bus, and and the record company's like, you are going to be through your fuel budget before 2 months. What are you guys thinking? Step down, and so they ended up having to, they had to come back off of
just
that
bought
tour.
an Econoliner and a trailer.
Right, and that's exactly what they're looking for.
So if you really want to come down to the advice, I see all these shows. It started with the restaurant makeover. Now now it has fucking tattoo parlor makeover.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do my show. I mean, Brett Michaels doing all these stories.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Come in and go into a band, and you just okay. Let's clean this up here. Let's just get focused on what's real, or being realistic here.
See, and
I'd watch that one.
and that's just it. I mean, there's so many things that you probably could, this is going to happen. When this happens, this is how you're going to feel, because
Gene Simmons would come in and do it, and all he would talk about is the old-fashioned world of, you're going to cut the publishing and stuff like that. When you're not fucking selling records today, when today all matters is like, you need to bring your music to the people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And how can you do that?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
And the craziest thing, I mean, they've been together for how long?
They're like 19 and 20
Well,
years
I know,
old.
but they've been together for quite a while. They go out on tour and they were just at it. But but they spent every day together, all day, for months, And then all of a sudden you get out there on tour, the stress of it was just, they just started eating at each other. It's like, wow. And knowing that was going to come, yeah.
We knew.
But anyway.
Exactly. No. It's tough. It's very tough. You almost don't know what to say to somebody, because obviously there's somebody that ends up on American Idol and they get like a 1-year campaign and then it's over.
Right.
Yes. Okay, there are a couple of stars that have survived that, but everybody else.
Yeah. They're gone. Yeah.
And what it is, it's kind of like this thing you see now, I guess with, like 2 years is too long to wait for a new phone, so people are offering a new way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
So in reality, it's this thing that people, the new generation want changes every half year. It's like a new update to the software, and new this, and new this. And the same thing goes with the music. You're changing so quickly, and we're still listening to Led Zeppelin.
Right. See, and that's what on our radio show, we've kind of had this debate where is it better to put out a full-length album or an EP? America's short attention span anymore almost leads you to think you're going to be more successful putting out an EP every 6 months or up to a year or whatever. Ride on that for a while. Let the public digest that, and then let out another one.
You'd be better off buying, maybe a $1,000 or maybe $1,500 Canon camera that can shoot film quality. Buying, get Final Cut Pro or even just iMovie, whatever.
Yeah.
Record one song, put a clip on YouTube, upload it to iTunes, get some buzz on that, do another one, but have your self-sufficient factory.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're basically just saying everything in that is a fact. You don't need to do an album because nobody listens to an album if it's not something and nobody can make an album that's worth listening to fully. There ain't gonna be no more, great super albums in that way besides my own.
Right.
Which I'm gonna buy one today.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be a way. So you say we have to be self-sufficient with our own printer. It sounds stupid, but everything has to be in-house.
You depend on yourself. Don't
in-house.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can have the second you get there, the second you succeed. Beyond, something you can't control, there'll be plenty of people wanting to take you on.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that until that happens. Worry about right now.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That really is.
I'm learning this myself by going along. I'm not, all through my life I've met many people in other bands that were too fucking smart for themselves. It's like the drummer that knows everything about a publishing contract that's never written a song.
Yeah.
And every song that I've ever done, I've written. And so it's like, and I'm trying to say, I know you're a better guitar player, maybe you think you're a better singer, but you got to realize one thing. When you look at my set list, that's not something you can rehearse or learn. This is mine. I own this.
Yeah.
I own Lady of the Valley. I own When the Children Cry. I own Wait. Those songs are mine. When I sing them, I'm not singing somebody else. I'm me.
Yeah.
It's him who wrote these songs. So, you know, it's just one of those things. But I think obviously a big part of the business, and it's the same thing like the government, you know, because I'd like to dive into secrets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The business is not interested in fixing it. Everybody just wants to make sure that they can survive, because the business could solve it like that.
It's amazing.
Is there anybody else that you're going to be meeting up with as you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna today.
Well, no, as you go down the road, because you met up with Striper up in.
Oh yeah, I'm
New York,
gonna
right?
I'm gonna play like 3 shows with those guys. This is just the 2 guitar players.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
They're doing. That's the last 3 shows that I do.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. To me, it's just another show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you are you doing one show with Trickster?
Oh yeah.
They live up there, don't they? Is that why? I think that's where it's like
Maybe.
Indiana or something. I don't remember where it's at. But
Idaho.
I'm pretty sure one of them or all of them
Idaho
live there.
Falls.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty ironic.
It's just great sometimes just being the one that walks in with the guitar. And don't make a big fuss about it. And then suddenly, when it's time.
You watch them getting everything all set up and messing with everything.
How funny.
Because one thing you can't buy in this business is experience.
That's very
And it's just a great feeling being sort of like the old dog.
Yeah.
Just known, okay, this is nice. It's a great. It's also a reward to me, like you say. It just feels like you're at ease with everything, and that's also in life. You get there and you just. And of course, I wonder, says, you know, why wasn't that possible when you were 26 years old and the train went so fucking fast? But it, you know.
With age comes wisdom.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wish we could all just be born with it. It would make life a lot easier, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes what you realize when you look back at maybe the mistakes or whatever, they all happened for a reason, and they all made something else possible. You know,
Made you
without
what
this,
you
you
are
couldn't have
today.
that.
Or you didn't know would be open. Or,
It's just one of those things. It's just simply, it's impossible any other way. I don't think I could have. What we could have done, we could have had some better advisors around us. Because we did what we were supposed to. Writing the songs and the performance and looking good and all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the ones that we paid 25% in commission and stuff like that, they didn't do their job.
Business. They were just out for the
They're
buck.
the ones that's supposed to be able to, because they're not the ones on stage, they're the ones who's supposed to be advising you and saying, well, based upon the way I see it, here's the 2 options. And please don't go spend it. Let's wait, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you go, fuck. It didn't happen.
Wow.
It's all.
Yep. They got their money taken care of.
And now
At the end of the day, they didn't care.
it's just, this is life. We're just in the rock and roll business, music business, but it's just the same thing, you know. There's plenty of people stabbing you in the back and different things like that, and not thinking really for you. Being able to look so far up ahead. You know, you want to see the 30th breaking light.
Yeah.
Not just 2.
Right.
Being able to see that far up so you can get off and exit.
Good point.
I like that one.
Right on.
I'm sort of referring to the end of White Lion when I broke the band up, and nobody in the management, record company, merchandiser, publishing even gave one call and says, "Are you an idiot?" or stuff like that. And what you really needed there was somebody saying, "You know what? this is gonna come back in 10 years. So let's plan like a squirrel for like very many cold winters.
Good deal. Yeah.
Let's go for new territories. Let's scale down. Let's maybe do a couple of shows somewhere in the world every year, very exclusive and stuff like that. Meanwhile, let's venture in, let's use some of the money we have to maybe, I mean, whatever the ideas are. But nobody
They had none.
Nobody, not one advice, man.
So that's in and out. So where did you say you're living now? Are you in Indonesia? Okay, I was thinking Australia.
Yeah, well, that's where I moved to. But then when I met my new wife, that's sort of where I ended up. So my older son is in Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, and then of course I still have a lot in Denmark, you know. So it's kind of like a triangle of not settling in, and it's uncomfortable. Because everything that I own of my collections and everything that I have through my life is just
everywhere.
stored in my brother's farm in Denmark, you know.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I just got guitars everywhere, and I have, you know, my children one place. It's yeah.
And how old is your oldest son?
20.
20. Okay.
And then I got a 5-year and a 7-year.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is now comes the time for me to be even more with them, you know. But then where they are is not a place I enjoy being. So you know, it's like you know, it's country like.
Is that where your wife is from? Is she from?
Yeah, she's from Japan.
Is that where she wants to be? Or
Well,
I mean,
that's a
is
conversation that I've had many times.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's like, you know, well, this is where I have power and work and stuff like this, and then, you know.
Yeah,
You know, you got to look at.
I can see that. She's an actress, right?
Yeah, and I got to look at it realistic. It's like, you know, I mean, I've done rock and roll for 37 years.
Wow.
And you know, last time I saw it, it's like, you know, Home Depot is not really paying that much for it, you know.
You're right.
You know,
You're right.
want, you know, it's like, was I single and living in this town, and then, you know, chose that I'm living in Salina, Kansas, and I'm going out playing once in a while, I could definitely work at a fucking lumberyard and stuff like that. I could definitely blend in. That's not the issue. But that's just not the situation that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm still, you know, so it's just one of those things.
Man.
Once in a while, it keeps you awake at night.
Well, you seem like
I'm getting some good ideas and stuff like that of how to deliver some music to the people and stuff like that without, you know, keeping it, you know, unique and organic and special and quality, you know. It's just that the touring is just difficult, you know, based upon it. But, you know, let's see what happens. I got to do a video interview at 7:30.
okay.
That's okay.
No, we're good. We're good. Show's at 8, right?
Not for me. I mean, they open the door. I'm not on before 10.
Oh, really? I was like, wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are they having other people there? Okay.
Yeah, I think they got another like duo acoustic and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
nice little bar actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
We've never even been.
Yeah, we've never even been in Salina before.
Kind of very, you know.
Yeah.
I was just down there. Yeah. It's just go straight down the road and make a left on Santa Fe,
Oh, okay.
and then it'll come up on the left side, Paramount Bar. There's a big poster of me outside. It'll come after like maybe 8 blocks or something like that on the left side.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
I think it's awesome. I really do. I mean,
I love
think,
when I get up on stage. There's no doubt that I have a lot of fun and really enjoy it. And communicating with people and stuff like that.
Well, I like the acoustic because there's so much more emotion that you can get across through the acoustic.
Yeah, no, the lyrics obviously takes center stage.
Exactly. And it takes, in my opinion, it takes more talent to be able to pull off an acoustic show. You can't fake it. You can't turn up the reverb way loud. You can't turn up
It
all
really
those
comes down to the song. Sometimes I sit and listen to some of the other ones playing before me, acoustic and stuff like that, and I just see what they are projecting is just a totally wrong approach, you know.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people, a lot of my 80s comrades that's also going out and doing unplugged, but they're just out there doing like the electric riffs and stuff
Exactly,
like that. You know?
just unplugged.
And sometimes it just, and see, my songwriting comes from my background of folk music. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I'm me. Tonight I'm me. I'm not Mike Tramp doing a lesser version of White Line.
Yeah.
I'm at home.
Yep. And that's the difference.
Yeah, that is the difference.
That's it. I'm excited to see it.
I am too.
Yeah, I want you guys to chill and relax, bro. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
enjoy all the songs you know,
Yeah.
and enjoy the new ones.
Absolutely.
Yes, like I said, it's better than, I would rather this than some of those that are out there still trying to, but like we've got some couple coming through Oklahoma City next week that are like, who is it, Bang Tango trying to,
Yeah.
That's my friend said that the 80s Invasion tour.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, because it's my agent that's booking the tour. And I know the singer from Bang Tango really well, but also the guitar player is a really close friend of mine now, and maybe we're gonna do something together, but it's not gonna happen.
That's neat.
And then Chips from Nuffs and Ups is also a close friend of mine, and they're all fun guys.
They are. They are.
But it's like,
the last time they came
Put
through
it
town,
down,
we were trying to
guys.
talk to Joe. We were, hey Joe, how's it going? And he just kept saying, I need beer. You got any weed? Joe, we're trying to talk to you. I can't talk to you until you give me some weed. Joe, we don't have any weed. I'm sorry. I can't talk to you then. Okay. Fine.
Hilarious.
He was pretty trashed after that
hilarious.
show. Already, it was making me laugh.
yeah.
Who was it? Oh, I can't remember who it was. I was in the bathroom. He comes in and he walks
was
in.
Joe.
Oh yeah, I think it was Joe. He comes in, has this crazy look on his face. I think I'm supposed to be on stage. And then he goes back out the door. I was like, good to see you, Joe. I was like, wow.
There are 12 guys touring on one bus.
Oh, is it one? I've seen some pictures. I didn't know
Oh,
it was one
goodness.
bus.
One bus.
Oh, wow.
And I did a tour with White Line and Enough's Enough with Chip, like in 2005. So, and I run a tight ship, so I can only imagine once this bus gets going.
That's gonna be.
What do you mean you've seen some pictures like what, like already from the tour now?
Well, Ted Pulley's been posting pictures online of the bus. Just this is the get up, and then Scott
The Flame
has been posting pictures of the bus.
That's my friend.
Yeah,
and
he's awesome.
I guess I didn't put two and two together that it was the same bus, but I remember
I didn't
laughing
either.
because they were saying, check out is it Prevost? Is that how you say it? I said, check out the Prevost. They both said that, but I didn't put the pictures together and realize it was the same bus.
goodness.
That's what they're focused on. Look how cool bus is.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go in and deliver a good show.
Yeah. See, when we saw him last time, Scott was, after the show, I mean, he's
He's amazing.
so humble.
He's a
Great
fire.
guy. He is
Bro,
a great
when
guy.
I'm with him, I was with him. He came down to see me play in New York. He drove down with his wife all the way from Boston because we were close friends. And you know, when he's with me, because he wanted to work with me, and we were going to do some White Lines, a special thing. And you know, because he's a Vita Brata scholar.
Yeah.
And a guitar teacher. And I'm, you know, I'm the total opposite of just like, chill, bro. Yeah, no, he's a nice. Make sure when you see him.
Yeah, he is a
Just a
great
second
guy.
you say my name. Wait, just wait.
Yeah.
They're actually going to be there a week from tonight. They're going to be in town next Friday. So
In
we'll
Omaha?
see 'em.
In Oklahoma
In Oklahoma
City.
City.
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
we're gonna go see him. But yeah, he was so humble. Came out. I mean,
Oh,
he
no,
just
no,
stood there and
great
talked to
guy.
us for 20 minutes.
He gave me his phone number and everything because I was going to do an interview with him and everything, and he's just really nice guy, really nice.
Hello. Okay, I'll meet you in the lobby then. Okay, take care.
Your 7:30.
Next one's here, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
You are a
That's
busy man.
interesting and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's the way it is. There's great guys and people like that. And
Well, we'll see
I'll
him
have-
next
yeah,
week.
I'll see
So
him Friday. I'll
what's the
tell
venue
him.
called?
It's called the Chameleon Room.
Okay.
Yep. We're
yeah.
gonna go out there and I'll have to tell him that we sat down and talked to you and see what he says. I'll see the reaction on his face.
Yeah, he is a great guy. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
You could just tell. You could pick him out that he's a great guy. I mean, like I said, I mean, I said, hey, I was wondering if we might be able to get an interview and everything. He goes, what's your phone number? He puts it in his phone and then he goes, I just texted you, man. And I was like, that is awesome, man. He's a really great guy. Really great guy. So, all right, are you ready?
I will see you at the show.
You bet. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thanks, bro.
Honor. Very, very honored.